afternoon and welcome to Football Italia. We're here at the magnificent Stadio Olimpico in Rome this week for our big game, Lazio against Milan. And a very eagerly awaited event it is too, because today we should find out, can the champions Milan be stopped? Gascoigne, Boksic and Signori all say that they can be, and 70,000 fans plus will be inside the stadium to see just how right they are. And amongst those 70,000 fans, there'll also be our competition winners from the Football Italia Goal of the Month competition. Yay! Lovely to have them here with us. Also joining us as well, Liam Brady and our commentators Ray Wilkins and Peter Brackley. Right now, though, it's time to join, as ever, Kenneth Wolstenholme.
Last week, Football Italia featured second against third. Today, it's first against fifth, as mighty Milan visit the Olympic Stadium here in Rome. And for Lazio, the visit of the reigning champions could hardly be better timed. Dino Zoff's men are on a roll. 3 successive wins and 10 goals scored, 6 of them from Beppe Signori. Milan, meanwhile, have become the mean machine. Just 1 defeat all season, and only 8 goals conceded in their 23 games. They've failed to recapture their scoring flair of the previous 2 championship-winning years, the absence of top attacking stars forcing a definite change of tactics by coach Fabio Capello. 9 of their 14 wins have come by a single goal margin. Yet they're still 5 points clear of the chasing pack and 7 ahead of 5th place Lazio as they chase a hat-trick of title victories. Lazio, though, must fancy their chances of closing that gap today. Their confidence sky high after 3 exhilarating victories in a row. And it's Beppe, the man who's put the pep back in their play. Signori missed nearly half the season with a niggling succession of injuries. But last year's leading goal scorer in Serie A showed that he hadn't lost his touch on his return. Against Cremonese 3 weeks ago, he wrapped up Lazio's 4-2 home win with the final 2 goals. 7 days later, his penalty in our live game at Inter set them on the way to a 2-1 victory. Then last weekend, Signori destroyed Cagliari with a hat-trick. These 3 goals taking him to 13 in just 13 games and putting him joint top of the Serie A goal-scoring chart. Inevitably, there was only one man who could upstage him. That was our man Gaza. With former Spurs boss Terry Venables watching from the stands, he turned on the magic. And there was plenty to chat about when they met up on Monday to talk about their respective roles with England.
Certainly seems to be playing well recently. I just wanted to come and see the game live and just catch up with him in general, see what the way they want him to operate, the way players operate in here, and to see if I can think about my thoughts and what's happening with them.
Gascoigne and Signori could hold the key to today's outcome, but the Croatian striker, Alen Boksic, could also play a significant role against a side rumoured to have vied for his services when he was at Marseille last season. Milan could certainly do with an informed marksman like Boksic or Signori. The absence of last year's leading scorer, Marco van Basten, through injury has been a heavy blow. The departure of Ruud Gullit to Sampdoria has also robbed the side of pace, power, invention and striking ability. Yet despite this, Milan are in their customary position at the head of the table, beaten only once, 3-2 at Sampdoria after seemingly in charge when 2-0 up at half-time. Their most consistent scorer recently has been the veteran striker Daniele Massaro. 33 this May and a favourite at the San Siro for nearly 8 seasons, he's been rolling back the years with some vital strikes. After scoring in the 2-0 January win over Piacenza, he got the single goal that decided things in Bergamo against Atalanta. A week later, he weighed in with another that sparked a 2-0 victory away against Roma. And his 6 goals so far this season leave him close to the half-century mark for the club. Not bad for a man regarded more as a workhorse provider than a deadly finisher. Last weekend, while their rivals were trying to kill off each other, another well-established Milan man, Marco Simone, scored the single goal that was enough to beat Cremonese and give Fabio Capello's men their 14th victory. Over the years, Milan have had a clear edge in this fixture. although Lazio were proud of their goalless draw at the San Siro back in October. Plenty of goals when the sides met last season, though. 5-3 to Milan in the first encounter. Then it was 2-2 in the return, with Paul Gascoigne getting his third goal of his introductory season in Serie A. Can he repeat that today? Can Signori continue his golden run? Or will Milan take another step towards that magnificent hat-trick of title wins? Join us after the break for the whole match live.
Welcome back to the Stadio Olimpico. It's a nice hazy spring day here in Rome. We're outside the stadium, but inside, I think a cauldron of emotion is the only term I can use, really. The tension is palpable. You can cut the atmosphere with a knife, all that sort of stuff, because the place is packed out. There are banners and Union Jacks and everything really crammed in here. They're unveiling a giant football over in the Curva Sud. They've got the smoke bombs warmed up for the entrance of the teams onto the field. Now, we're a bit pressed for time today, so no time for one of my usual weekly speeches, unfortunately. Let's go straight over to Liam Brady, who's joined us at last time. They're getting a bit bogged down in your tiramisu, Liam. They say it's going to be a do-or-die game, this. Is that just hype, or is there something in that?
Well, no, I think if Lazio were to win, it would go a long way to opening up the championship again. You know, Lazio would have a chance then if Juventus and Sampdoria and Parma can get back winning again. It would really mean that the championship's wide open. But I'm not too sure they can do it looking at the Milan team.
A lot of people are very eager to write Milan off after some of the more disappointing results they've had so far. But it's fair to say that now they're over a big problem they have with injuries. People like Boban and Lentini coming back into the side.
Yeah, a lot of important players. But I'm not, I'm not too sure that the criticism's being fair. They're less spectacular than they were a couple of years ago, but they're still very, very effective. And they've got some great players in their side. And I saw a great player play on Wednesday night for France against Italy, Desailly, and I think Capello will be putting him in, especially on Gascoigne, to stop Gascoigne from playing.
So you can hear the volume really building up here. Just a final thing about Lazio and about Gascoigne. He's part of a side that's suddenly become very spectacular, 10 goals in the last 3 games. Do you think they're going to be able to repeat that kind of accomplishment against a team with a defence as strong as Milan's?
Well, it's very difficult. You've got Baresi there as marshalling the defence as ever. But, you know, you've got Gascoigne, you've got Signori, you've got Boksic. It's possible that they could unsettle them. But I think Lazio will have to watch Milan as well. And I think hopefully we're in for a game with a few goals.
Well, let's hope so. Let's turn over now to our, well, not turn over, that would be the last thing we'd want you to do, but let's go across, perhaps I should say now, to our commentary team of Ray Wilkins and Peter Brackley.
Thanks, James, and a warm welcome, everyone, as the Olympic Stadium in Italy's famous capital city prepares for the match that, while certainly not settling this year's Scudetto, may well have some bearing on its final destiny. Lazio, with Gaza sparkling, believe they're currently the form team of Serie A. Their recent record obviously supports that, but of course in Milan they're facing a team whose defence has been impregnable now for the last 8 matches. And a side that, while not as exhilarating as in the past, remains among the premier outfits in European and world football. A marvellous opportunity this today for Paul Gascoigne to underline his value to Lazio. He gives them the flair that they've lacked on the many occasions he's been absent since he moved to Italy. Now at last he seems to be getting a decent run in the side. The number 10 shirt as usual for Gaza. Ahead of him, coach Dino Zoff opts for a 2-man strike force of Pepe Signori and Alen Boksic, which means no place for Casiraghi, who was first choice striker for the Italian team in midweek. At the back, Negro is preferred again to Bonomi. Well, it's been a while since we featured Milan live on a Sunday game. Indeed, one of the last occasions was the goalless draw with Lazio in the San Siro. The personnel is much the same, still no Van Basten, and Lentini isn't considered ready for a full game yet after recovering from his horrific car accident. He will be among the substitutes, though. But most of the other stars are contributing strongly again. Baresi, Maldini, Boban, Albertini, Papan, Desailly, all on parade in a side that's lost only once in Serie A this season. It's a classic confrontation between 2 of the top teams in Italy. It really is an excellent chance for Lazio, not only to enhance their own title prospects then, but also to give the other contenders hope. Milan, remember, start this one 5 points clear of Juventus and Parma, 6 up on Sampdoria, followed by Lazio a further point adrift. In the other fixtures, Juventus are playing Torino. It's the Turin derby today. Parma are away to Foggia, and Sampdoria, they're in action tonight at home to Atalanta. Paul Gascoigne, who was in excellent form last week in the big home win they had over Cagliari, watched of course by Terry Venables. Lazio, whose only home blemish this term was defeat by Torino. They've scored 10 in the last 3 home games. Although Ray Wilkins alongside me here, with no disrespect to those 3 defeated teams, they're not in Milan's class when it comes to defending.
No, that's quite right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Peter. I think we've got the classic encounter. I think you hit it right on the head there, Peter. We've got possibly one of the best teams in Italy at going forward in Lazio, and with our own Paul Gascoigne actually starring at the moment, which is lovely to see. He's really putting in some great performances. There's another man, Boxic, a super player, but they're playing against the mean machine in Milan. Milan, as Kevin Gallen, our young centre forward at Queen's Park Rangers, keeps telling me they're very lucky, Peter. They defend and scrape through with the odd goal. So we'll see if they're going to be lucky today as well.
Well, there's Jean-Pierre Papin. There'd been a doubt about his fitness, but he's come through that okay. He's had a late test to take his place in the lineup. Paul Gascoigne, who I'm sure will be really charged up for this match. And Fabio Capello, the coach of Milan, only too well aware of Gascoigne's prowess and his ability to change the course of a game. Lazio in their light blue shirts, attacking the goal to our left. The ball given away then by Crivero, the Lazio captain. Here's Papin. His first strike at goal. Dealt with by Marchigiani, who's the number 2 in Italy behind Pagliuca of Sampdoria.
That was a good effort from Papin there. The ball's 30 yards out of goal, and people have said, well, against Marchigiani, maybe a bit far out, but it's the first kick of the game, the first touch of the ball from Marchigiani, and it was a good effort. It's nice to test the goalkeeper early on, see if he's on his mettle, and that's a good start from Papin.
Yes, 2 outstanding goalkeepers on view today. At the other end, Sebastiano Rossi, who's had 23 clean sheets in 30 games for Milan this season. That's some record rate.
Absolutely magnificent. Yeah, they really are the mean machine. They defend exceptionally well, Baresi at the helm. But Rossi, when called upon, has to concentrate for 90 minutes because they don't have to a lot of shots to save. But he's turned in some superb performances for Milan.
This is Di Matteo for Lazio. He'll play the anchor role. Now Boxic, who has terrific pace. Looking for Gascoigne. Cavalli. Boxic at the far post. And Aaron Winter way over the bar.
Listen to the atmosphere. It's absolutely magnificent. It's a hostile atmosphere, and this is what the game's all about. It'd be nice to see if our own Paul Gascoigne can really raise his game and play. But against possibly one of the best sides in Europe at the moment, and it really would be a nice fillip in his cap if he could perform and turn in an excellent performance against this Milan team. But the atmosphere is terrific. The game started well. Let's hope we're in for a good afternoon.
Rossi, who hasn't conceded a goal, incidentally, for 773 minutes, so he's inside of Dino Zoff's record of 903 minutes without letting in a goal. Gascoigne. Bacci to Gaza again.
I think it's pretty evident as well, Peter, as the game's kicked off. Liam was dead right. Desai has gone straight in on Paul Gascoigne and looking to pick him up at any opportunity.
Did indeed have a marvellous game in the week for France, Desai, although playing as a marker at the back rather than in midfield, the role he's been occupying for Milan since his move from Marseille back in November. Well, by Gascoigne, who needs to keep his emotions in check. He's been cautioned in 5 of the last 8 appearances he's made for Lazio.
I don't know whether that was a foul, Peter. I thought Albertini just bounced off him. That is one of Paul's strengths. He's got enormous body strength, and I don't know whether he did foul Albertini there.
The pass from Tassotti. This is Aranio, caught though by Gascoigne. Aranio, who's slotted down this right side with Donadoni and Lentini both left out. They're on the bench. This is Aranio, another man who featured in that international in midweek, Italy against France, which France won by the only goal. Desai. Now Aranio. This is Fouzer. Threatened by Boban. Brazil again. Good lay off by Vinter. Maldini in pursuit. Gianni, who excelled at the goalless draw in the San Siro when Milan were frustrated earlier in the campaign. Simone in particular. Another man who's not made the starting lineup today, Simone, among the Milan substitutes. Free kick then to Lazio. Some shirt tugging there. Iranio on Di Matteo. Gascoigne.
Does just go to show the strength of the Italian side, Peter, when you've got a player of Simone's class, and he really has performed very well when we've seen him play. Doesn't actually get a mention on the subs bench, and of course they do have 5 subs. It just goes to show the strength in depth.
Iranio. 5 fairly tentative minutes played. This is Baresi. Shepherded out by Favali. Dino's off as ever, chain smoking down on the bench. Really big game for his team today. Boksic. Favali. A swarm of Milan players collecting the ball. Negro policing Jean-Pierre Papin, and it's a decision in favour of Lazio. Papin, who's been out for 3 matches now with injury and hasn't really hit the heights expected of him when he has appeared for Milan this season. But nonetheless, a very dangerous striker, one of the most lethal in the world in front of goal. Gascoigne to Signori. Very untypical of Signori, who's been in magnificent form this season again. 13 goals in 13 Serie A appearances. And he's got 6 in the last 3, so he's right slap bang in form. Forward by Baresi. Favali. This is Di Matteo. Now Bacci. Keeping Bonomi out of the Lazio side. Gascoigne slotting it through delightfully then to Boksic, but how quickly Baresi came snapping into the tackle. Provero, again good work from Gascoigne. Favali. Quickly confronted though by Tassotti. Gascoigne. Already the centre of attention.
Started great, Peter, as well, hasn't he? Very, very comfortable on the ball. Big atmosphere game for Paul, but he really has started exceptionally well. There's another lovely touch.
Favali. Now Boksic. Signori's in the middle. A check then by Costa Curta, which incensed the crowd.
He did well, Costa Curta. He's got his body in between Boksic and the ball, and I think Boksic tried to feign the foul and get something out of it. There was no chance.
Click on by Papin. He and Massaro then the front 2 for Milan. Bacci to Di Matteo. This is Aaron Vinter, the Dutch international. Wide of him is Fuser. Fuser today up against one of the most accomplished left-backs in the world in Maldini. One of the fairest too. He's only been cautioned now once in the last 2 seasons. Here's Gascoigne. Another mazy dribble. Still Gascoigne. Great run! And Rossi just managed to scoop it away as Signori arrived. Fabulous run by Gascoigne.
Absolutely brilliant, Peter. That was absolutely sensational stuff.
Signori whips it across again, and Boksic for the header. A really bright opening this by Lazio.
Absolutely, and it's all caused by our own Paul Gascoigne. Look at this dribble. Like, he's got the important thing for Paul was he got in the penalty box as soon as possible. Now no one can touch him once he's in there. The tackle has to be perfectly timed, and his anticipation of a tackle is quite superb. And that was a wonderful dribble. But he seems to be the one that Lazio are relying on to really perk them up and start them to play. And he's had a fantastic opening 10 minutes.
Dino Zoff has been playing down Gascoigne's improvement, saying that he's still got a long way to go yet, but he'll be pretty pleased with the way his star man has begun this game. On by Papin.
That's a good game. We have the two contrasting styles as well. We have Crivero, who plays the out-and-out sweeper style for Lazio, and then we have the flat-back four of Milan. A lot of people think that Baresi, they call him a sweeper, but he actually plays in that flat-back four, and he really governs the show for the defensive line of Milan. But it's nice to see all the contrasting different ways of play.
Papin, Albertini, now Desai. This is Aranio. Crivero was caught then by Papin. Referee Beskin waving play on. Off goes Boksic. Victor's pulled out wide. Signori through the middle. Boksic with the shot. And well gathered by Rossi.
How far out he was. He must have been 10 yards, Rossi, as that shot went in. That's a super run from Boksic. He really does possess a lot of pace. And that's something Milan will have to watch out for, although they do have their own speed merchants at the back.
Albertini, who start for the Italian side against the French. And that shot then whipped in quickly, but into the body of Marcagiani. From Massaro. Desai with the free kick then for Milan. Albertini. Boban to Maldini. Boban, the Croatian. Now Maldini. Misunderstanding though with Boban, who's come back after a one-match ban. Costa Curta to Tassotti. Now Desai. Massaro.
From Massaro down the line. And Papin getting in a shot, which Marcagiani had to say. But I must say, this is one of the brightest openings that we've had in a long time on our Italian football. And both sides are really, it really does appear to me as if both sides are going out for the victory, not settling for a point.
Boban's through ball, just too long though for Papin. Dino Zoff, who was under a bit of pressure earlier in the season when Lazio seemed to be struggling, but the critics have quietened down now with Lazio's good run in recent weeks. On by Favalli. Aranio's won it back for Milan, and then good work too by Di Matteo. A real competitive edge to the game. Victor. On for Fuzel. And Boban taking no chances.
Good stuff. Di Matteo did exceptionally well. Looks as if he'd lost out to Desai and Tassotti down the right-hand side. Won it back very well indeed. And there was, well, I think we saw one of those diagonal runs from Boksic. A great run. He took 3 defenders away, which allowed the ball inside the fullback. But Boban showed great concentration to get back with him.
Signore with the corner. Lopped it high towards Favalli. This is Baresi. Milan struggling to get it clear, but at the end they've won the free kick for that lunge by Paul Gascoigne. Very influential early on though for Lazio, Gazza.
Yes, he is. This is the best opening spell I've seen him perform since he's been in Italy. He really is involved in everything, and he looks his old confident self. He's getting on the ball at every possible occasion. Hasn't given a ball away yet. Using it very well indeed.
Aranio. Fell by Favalli. Just hearing of the first goal of the afternoon. It's been scored by Parma away to Foggia. And it's that man Zola who scored a magnificent goal last week to good Parma victory against Sampdoria. That's his 13th goal of the season. A goal I know you admired, Ray, watching at home.
Absolutely, it was a wonder goal, and Zola really is playing some exceptional stuff. And it's a shame, really, when you think that Mancini and Baggio playing similar roles, but Zola really is performing to an exceptionally high standard.
Yes, Zola still not featuring on the Italian national team. Tassotti then with a throw for Milan. Movement from Iranio. Cavero, though, to whack it away. Now Boban has gone across to take the kick. Great friend of his fellow Croatian Boksic to the Lazio side. Bam!
Dangerous game, actually, Lazio played there. They left Di Matteo in on the post. Everybody pushed out to the edge of the box. He only had to get a favourable ricochet in Milan's favour, and they could have been in real trouble.
Gascoigne. Signori. Now Fuser. Looking for Boksic. I think he was looking for a penalty.
Good work again from Boban. He's getting back there and he's helping to cover everybody. Here you see a little knock over the head of Tassotti, but who's there? It's Boban again, and just knocks it away for a corner kick.
Fuser. Gaza appealing for a corner, but I don't think it took any kind of deflection on the way. Fuser, who hasn't scored for some 10 games now, but has been playing well.
I'm sure he'd love to do well today, Peter, as well, Milan being his old club. They sold him when they bought Lentini, and we thought that Fuser was playing exceptionally well at the time, and it was a bit unfortunate they sold him, but nevertheless, he's performing very well for Lazio now.
He had a couple of years with Milan, did Fuser, but couldn't gain a regular place, such was the competition for places. Now, Tassotti. Massaro, on by Albertini, and the flag's up for offside. Also watching the game today with us, of course, is Liam Brady. Liam, what have you made of the early phase of the game?
Well, it's fascinating, Peter. It's a really good game with the Lazio front line looking lethal and Gascoigne pulling the strings. Let's hope Paul can keep it up, because I think they could turn them over today if he manages to keep playing the way he is.
Thanks, Liam. We'll hear from you again later on. Also all the other scores, of course, as we see them throughout the afternoon. Now Gascoigne. Favali, who gives Lazio good balance down the left. That's Boksic getting nowhere. Costa Curta really strong at the back alongside Baresi. Now Desai. Three of Milan's back four played for the Italians the other night. Aldini, Baresi, Costa Curta, and a fourth, Panucci, who's injured at the moment, will almost certainly feature in the World Cup squad as well. Now Signori. If any side can stretch Milan at the back, surely it's Lazio. Fuser. Now Gascoigne. They've certainly begun confidently enough of Lazio. There's Di Matteo. Gascoigne off of Boksic, just offside, but only just.
My word, what a goal that would have been. The great one too. I think it was in the back of the net. And, you know, you just have to wait for the referee to make the decision. You put it in the back of the net and let him tell you it's offside.
Tassotti. Now Di Matteo. Gascoigne to Vinter, who by his own admission is not playing as well this season as he did in his first for Lazio. Foul by Baresi, who has his hands full today with Boksic and Signori.
He actually read Boxic very well there, and he's a big lump to actually put him down, but Baresi read that situation well, and I think he was a little bit unfortunate to be penalised. Nevertheless, he has been, and here's Gaza again, once again, to pull the strings.
Gascoigne, away from Massaro, not though from Desai. This is Massaro now. Di Matteo with a rather crude challenge. Now Parma have scored again, so they're going well away to Foggia. And it's Asprilla, the Colombian, who's made it 2-0. That's his 8th of the season.
Ah, he wasn't offside. There's the replay of the Boxic chance. He didn't look offside as Paul played it forward. He's got such tremendous pace that there's a little clash of heads there, Baresi and Boxic.
Certainly a late flag, wasn't it, on the offside?
Yes, it was. He's got so much pace, Peter. Once he gets a yard, he looks as if he's 10 yards in front of you, and I think it can be quite misleading at times.
Baresi in trouble here.
Yeah, I think they appeared to run into each other as the ball was played over the top.
Captain of Italy, of course, as well as Milan. His 17th term with this great club. Seen it all, done it all, worn the T-shirt, Baresi.
Yeah, look at the way he's going to body check Boxic as well. That's a little bit cynical from Baresi.
Yeah,
but
it was.
there's really no need for it because he has the ability to get with him and outplay him. But these things happen, and Baresi framed it quite well, really, to get away with that because it was a bit of a cynical foul.
Advice for Boban from Capello as we approach the halfway point in the first half.
Always a sign of a good game. 20 minutes gone, it feels as if it's only 5 minutes, and we've got a good game on our hands here.
Bizarre with the cross, flags up for offside. Gaza's absolutely incensed.
That's where he's got to be careful, though. He's been booked for the last couple of times for a bit of dissent. And although you do get wrapped up in the game, Paul's got to be very careful because referees in Italy are only too quick to start flashing yellow cards around. And to get one for dissent is not really the best way to get one.
The Milan do play this offside game, and it's a dangerous one today with the pace of Signori and Boxic and Gaza making those runs through as well. I think we might be in for one or two marginal decisions. We've had a couple already.
We certainly have, and I think we are. You're quite right, Peter. Going to be in for a number of them, and you know, let's hope one or two of them are allowed to go on and we see a few goals, because we do definitely have a super attacking force in Lazio against a really super defensive unit in Milan.
Won by Desai. Negro, out-jumping Papan. Settled in well at the back this season, Negro, after a spell out through injury. Referee Beskin wants the kick taken from a different place.
I think he wants to get involved, the referee. That looked a perfectly good challenge. Two guys jumping for the ball and no one come to any harm. I just think the referee feels it's about time that he intervened.
You've got to think about referees, haven't you?
I like them.
Wear the wrong colour kit.
And they definitely wear the wrong colour kit. Not in Italy, though, man.
We haven't got time to talk about that.
But
Costa Curta with the free kick. Whacked away by Cavero. Tassotti. And Boxic show that he's prepared to work, as well as chase through the middle and show his talents and his skills. They're really fired up for this one today, Lazio. No question about that. No one more so than this man, Paul Gascoigne. Won by Di Matteo. Boxic, who felt he was held back by Costa Curta, and then lunged at it.
He did well from there, Costa Curta. It was a bit of a rash old challenger from Boxic, and Costa Curta could have played on that a lot more, as we've seen a lot of Italian defenders do, but got up straight away. Give him a little cuddle and it's all okay.
Boxic clearly felt he should have had a free kick just seconds before that. Now Gascoigne. Dasai again is with him. Touched off there by Vinter. Gascoigne again. All very tight though.
Yes, I think that little word we saw Capello have with Boban was to make sure that someone gets in and around Paul every time he's got the ball. He has been running the game for the opening 10-15 minutes, but now I think you'll see that every time he receives the ball, he'll be put under a little bit more pressure.
Tassotti for Milan. Papa. Couldn't outmaneuver Negro, but the referee has given the corner. After a quick look across to the linesman.
He had a point, Negro, didn't he?
Yeah.
It did appear to bounce off of the side of Papin before leaving the playing surface.
Boban will take the corner. Maldini's always a threat in the air. Not this time, though. Boxic away, only as far as Albertini. Baresi to pump it back again. No offside, Aranio. And this time it is a goal kick.
That's the second or third time a little bit of communication between the Milan players has gone awry. It was Boban there alongside Aranio, and they just seem to get in each other's way a little bit.
Fuzel. Gascoigne. On by Favali. Fell then by Negro on Papa. Negro, the former Brescia player, just 21 years old. And he was climbing all over Papa. And while there's a break in play here, some more thoughts from Liam Brady. Liam, how do you see it shaping up now?
Well, I think the game's just slipping away a little bit from Lazio because of the referee and linesman. We've had two very, very marginal decisions that have gone Milan's way. We have Baresi body check Bosic on the halfway line. He could have gone through. And I think the referee is stopping Lazio in their tracks, really.
Fair enough. Now, Maldini. Here's Boban. Turn well. Down goes Signori. Play on, says the referee. It was only a couple of yards away. Not disturbed by Maldini's tackle. This is Maldini now. Slipped though by Boban, and Signori on the break for Lazio. Gascoigne to come to collect, but he's chosen to go for the long ball instead, which didn't give Di Matteo too much chance.
Yeah, rather given away, Peter. I don't think you're going to catch Milan on a break from that sort of area, and he'd have been more advised, I would have thought, as Paul tried to get the ball off him and then continue to play and retain possession. It's been a super game up to now, but unfortunately, once again, we've not seen too many balls whipped across the face of the goal or too many goal mouth incidents, and I think that's the only thing that's lacking at the moment. We had that great run from Paul, but I think apart from that, we really haven't had too much to crow about as far as balls being put into the penalty area and into the danger area.
Tassotti with the free kick, swept on by Baresi. Only partially won by Bacci. Now it's Papin trying to whip the ball across, and he's forced the corner. They certainly hadn't been anything like as prolific in front of goal, Milan, this season. In the last campaign, they were joint top scorers along with Lazio. But any side, of course, would miss Van Basten. Marcagiani and Massaro over the bar. It was a rather tame fist out then by the goalkeeper.
I think he'd be first to admit it was poor goalkeeping. He had one guy in front of him, but I think Marcagiani would have been more advised to catch that. It came at a good height, and in the finish he ended up flapping at it. I think going back to Milan, Peter, I think the loss of the three Dutchmen has been an enormous blow to them. Obviously Van Basten's been injured, Hulic moved to Sampdoria, and Rijkaard's gone back to Ajax, but I think those three just complemented the whole of the Milan side, and I think it's been an enormous loss, and I think it will take a bit of time to recuperate that exciting type of football that we're used to seeing them play. At the moment, as Liam said, they're extremely resilient. No one can score goals against them, but they're having a little bit more difficulty going forward and scoring goals themselves.
8 games, remember, before they last conceded a goal at Serie A Milan. The defence masterminded by Baresi. I keep reading that he's slowing up, Baresi, but there aren't too many signs of that, and he makes up for it anyway with his anticipation, his reading of the game.
Well, I think you've hit it right on the head there, Peter. He's OK, his legs may slow up, but his brain works doubly fast, and that's where the first 2 yards come from, in the head. And Baresi thinks very, very quickly.
Here's Baresi now. Albertini to Tassotti. Followed up by the veteran defender, and Massaro was just offside. Massaro, who's hit a rich vein of form in recent weeks. He's got 3 goals in the last 4. And indeed, he's the top scorer for Milan this season with just 6. Winter, half an hour gone. No goals. Gascoigne sliding it on to Winter, then to Signori. Now he's given it away. It's careless then, Signori. Gascoigne has it back again. Baresi. Here's Massaro. Now Albertini. Vital cog in the Milan machine, Albertini. Such a smooth player in midfield. And there's Costa Curta to steer it back. Rossi rather aimlessly upfield. Desai under pressure from Di Matteo. And the referee thought too much pressure. Baresi. Good distribution to Papan. Now Desai. Riding the tackle well. Papan. Down for Massaro. And Negro away. Good saving a head or two before that from Bacci. Now Fuzer. Rampaging down the right. On for Winter. And a foul by Baresi when he went for the ball and he caught the man.
I think he did catch the man as well, Peter. The ball comes in, the ball is there to be won. Yeah, I think in this country we would say, yeah, super tackle, well, you know, well covered. But in Italy, you just don't get away with that sort of thing. It was a bit of an old cruncher, wasn't it?
I think he was making sure if he didn't get the ball, he would have got the man.
I think you're dead right.
Gascoigne. And for once, his distribution lets him down, but his range of passing certainly impressed Terry Venables last week. New England coach, of course, was watching Gaza play for Lazio in their home spanking of Cagliari. Gaza scored and called the shots as well. Here he is now. Another strong, forceful run till he was upended. He's furious at the tackle. And this is where he's got to calm down.
Yeah, Signori did well for him there. He's getting himself a little bit on edge there, is Paul. And yeah, it was a bad tackle. But it's something that he probably will come to expect. It's a great run. Look at the strength of the guy, look. And he is upended, and he ends up stumbling into Tassotti or Baresi. And he wasn't too happy, and quite rightly so, but he should keep his cool just a little bit more, because it is a very volatile atmosphere, and the referee will give him a yellow card for next to nothing.
So both Baresi and Costa Curta, the 2 central defenders for Milan, have now been cautioned. A real opportunity this for Lazio. Signori hovering around the ball. Fuzer, we know, is dangerous from long range as well. Gaza not taking any part in this. Maybe still a little winded from his exploits a moment or so ago. Here is Signori to fire it through! And somehow it just went wide.
Really is the most fantastic save from Rossi. He's got his line like a shot to narrow that angle down. The ball comes through and gets a little skip in front of him, but Rossi did exceptionally well to get a hand to it. It's another good strike from Signori.
Fuzer. An escape then for the league leaders and champions. Bacci.
Yeah, here we see it once again. They blocked off Baresi very well as he's coming to meet it, but that's a great save. The ball just takes a little bounce in front of Rossi, but he gets a very strong hand and pushes it around the upright. Super stop.
Well, there's certainly a school of thought now that Rossi should be in contention for a World Cup place for Italy, and he is underlining his qualities already in this game.
He does, and I give it to him for his concentration, Peter, because a lot of the time when he's playing with Milan, he doesn't actually touch the ball for long, long periods, and then he's called upon to make such an excellent save as that, and he's been doing that all season, and full credit to him. He's been quite exceptional.
Now Signori, Boksic up in support. Signori's shot. Rossi felt he had to make a save, and what a good tackle that was then by Maldini. Perfectly timed on Fuser.
Well, if there's a better fullback in the world, I've not seen him. Maldini looks absolutely in a class of his own. That was a wonderful tackle. Good awareness as well. He was off like a shot because he knew someone was coming around the back. Another good stop from Rossi, but it's nice to see from Lazio. Good ball in from Paul Gascoigne to Signori, who took it on his own. A good run from Boksic, but decided to shoot himself, and it was a good stop from Rossi.
Lazio raising their game on notch or two to extend Milan at the back. Rossi to the rescue on 2 occasions now. I felt maybe the shot from Signori was going wide, but Rossi wasn't too sure and thought he had to make the save anyway.
I thought he was right there, Pete, as well. I thought it was going wide, but it's better safe than sorry, and Rossi got a good hand to it.
De Sotti's throw. Sneaking out Papin. So too, though, was Favalli. Papin with just 4 goals in Serie A this season. 13 in the last campaign. But he has had problems with injuries during the season. Gascoigne now, again showing his strength, his resilience there to shake off Boban. I think he caught him in the face in the process. Desai. Now Massaro. His touch wasn't a true one though. Di Matteo spreads it wide to Fuser. Now Winter. As Lazio come rolling forward again. Still Winter. Continually stumbling, and how he kept his feet then. Boksic. And the referee unhappy with the tackle by Tassotti.
Yeah, that's a bad decision.
Yeah.
Tassotti actually, he read that very well. His anticipation of Boksic running past him was very good, and I think that's a poor decision from the referee. Tassotti defended well.
So more danger for Milan to contend with. Gascoigne with a tie-up problem. Leaving the free kick though to Signori. Gascoigne was in there, and also Negro.
The super ball in, wasn't it? It was really whipped in from Signori. And Negro was a little unfortunate. There's a lot of players, they probably got bumped around a little bit and couldn't actually direct the header. But we are seeing a very impressive Lazio side. Defensively, for once, they look very solid. I hope I'm not speaking too soon, but they look very, very solid. And I'm sure if they get this solid platform, then they can go on and score goals and have the confidence to get forward and score goals. And with the likes of Gascoigne and Boksic and Signori up front, they've got every chance.
Certainly dictating this first half, Lazio. Parma were in charge at home to Foggia, but they've got one back now. It's Foggia 1, Parma 2, and it's Capellini, the scorer for Foggia. Rossi, who's a game and a half away from breaking the record in terms of not conceding a goal. A couple of near things so far in this first half. Albertini now. Given away to Signori. That's asking a lot of Boksic. Baresi, though, didn't look happy. Terrific burst of speed again by Boksic. And a good recovery by Baresi. But my word, he showed acceleration there, Boksic.
Yeah, he showed remarkable acceleration. No, Baresi, I think you got it quite right, but he didn't look happy at all racing against him. And if he doesn't feel comfortable, then
Who does?
The rest of us haven't got much chance, mate. That's quite right, Peter.
Hit by Gascoigne, and that's a foul by Boxic, who's using his arms for some extra leverage.
He does look an impressive player, though, doesn't he? Very, very willing player. He makes some great forward runs. Very, very tall man, but his feet are exceptional. He's got tremendous feet, and he really is. It's a pleasure for us to be able to see him play, because he has joined halfway through the season. It's nice that he's joined the Italian football.
Because they hadn't expected to have his services to the end of the season, so it's been a real bonus. His move from Marseille for some £7 million back in November. Di Matteo. One by Favali, who was crunched. There's Gascoigne. Again revealing his resilience. Uzer to Gascoigne. Put it on to Signori. As we move into the last 5 minutes of the first half, it's another free kick to Lazio.
I think we're seeing a great range of passing from Paul this afternoon. His first touch is exceptional. His long passing is good. His disguise on the pass is the thing that's getting him by. He really is disguising the ball very well.
That's his free kick now.
Always happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Always happens. To talk how good he's passing, what does he do? Gives it straight to Milan player. It's marvellous, isn't it, this game?
Favali, there's Baresi, flags up for offside. Furious protest.